subscribe for daily sleep stories, and let us know which story you'd like to hear next. Find a comfortable position and start to relax. Feel the weight of your feet. Let them sink into the surface beneath you. Now, slowly relax your legs, feeling any tension melt away. Allow your back to relax, breathing deeply and gently. Now, soften your shoulders and neck. Let your arms feel heavy and relaxed. Finally, gently close your eyes and let your mind be calm. You're ready to listen to a beautiful story. In a quiet town called Nazareth, a young woman named Mary was preparing for a special journey. She loved God and had a gentle heart. Mary was promised to Joseph, a kind man who was a carpenter. One day, an angel appeared to her and said she would have a special baby, the Son of God. This news filled her with joy, but also with wonder and a little fear. She accepted this beautiful gift with faith. Soon after, the emperor ordered everyone to return to their hometown for a census. This meant that Mary and Joseph had to travel to Bethlehem, Joseph's birthplace. As they prepared for their journey, they gathered a few things and made sure to get ready for the road ahead. Warm sun rays touched their faces as they set out, the air filled with excitement and anticipation. Joseph led the way, guiding their donkey down the path. Mary rode gently, feeling the smooth rhythm as the donkey moved forward. Alongside them were the soft sounds of nature birds singing, leaves rustling, and the gentle breeze whispering sweetly. As they traveled, Mary rested her hands on her belly. She thought about the child growing inside her. Each bump of the donkey made her feel connected to this miracle. It seemed that even the skies brightened as they journeyed, painted in soft hues of orange and gold. The road was not easy. It wound through hills and valleys, surrounded by fields where sheep grazed peacefully. The couple met other travelers, all sharing the same mission to reach their homes. They greeted each other with smiles, kindness lighting their faces as they moved forward together. With each step, Mary felt her heart swell with love, not just for the child she would soon hold, but for the world around them. The hills looked inviting, and the fields stretched on, bathed in the warm sunlight. As the sun began to set, they reached a village. Mary could see the twinkling lights of Bethlehem in the distance, shining against the darkening sky. But their hearts sank when they realized how crowded the town was. Everyone had traveled to register, just like them. There were families laughing and children playing, but for Mary and Joseph, finding a place to stay was a challenge. They knocked on the door of an inn, hoping for a welcoming smile. Instead, a tired innkeeper shook his head. "I'm so sorry," he said, "but there is no room here." Mary could see how well kept the inn was, filled with laughter and the friendly chatter of other guests. Disappointment washed over her, but Joseph took her hand and gently said, "We will find a way." They continued to walk through the town, under a sky now bright with stars. The sight was calming, the stars twinkling like tiny lanterns in the night. Each step felt heavier as Mary grew tired, but she kept her faith strong. Finally, after asking around, they learned of a stable nearby, a humble place where animals slept. The kind man who offered them the stable spoke softly, "It's not much, but it will shelter you tonight." Joseph thanked him, and they made their way to the stable, feeling grateful for this simple refuge. Inside, the air was warm and smelled of hay and animals. It was quiet, with only the gentle sounds of the animals surrounding them. Mary felt a sense of peace wash over her. She knew that this simple place would soon hold a miracle. As they settled in, Joseph arranged some fresh hay for Mary to rest on. He spoke gently, reassuring her. "We are together, Mary. Everything will be all right." Mary smiled at him, feeling comforted by his presence. As the night deepened, the stars shone brighter above, as if they were all watching over Mary and Joseph. In those quiet moments, Mary knew that soon a special child would be born, the child that had been promised to her. She felt a deep connection to God, wrapping around her like a warm blanket. Joseph sat beside her, his heart calm and steady. He took a moment to gaze at the stars, and he whispered a quiet prayer of gratitude. Mary closed her eyes briefly, feeling the gentle swaying of the stable and the warmth of the soft hay beneath her. And so, under the soft cover of night, and surrounded by the gentle sighs of animals, the couple rested, ready for what the coming hours would bring. Little did they know, this journey that began on a long, winding road would lead them to the greatest gift the world has ever known. As the night grew deeper, a stillness filled the stable. Mary nestled on the soft hay, surrounded by the gentle warmth of the animals. She felt a deep stillness in her heart, a calm preparing her for what was to come. Joseph sat nearby, watching her closely. The love between them filled the small space, creating a comforting glow. Mary took a deep breath, feeling the cool night air mix with the warmth of the stable. The moon shone brightly through the open door, casting a gentle light upon her. She placed a hand over her belly, feeling a ripple of movement within. The time was drawing near. She sensed that soon the world would change forever. The stars outside shimmered like diamonds in the sky, and in that quiet moment, a soft cry broke the night. It was the sound of a baby entering the world, a sound filled with promise and hope. Mary knew at that moment that her child, Jesus, had come to bring light to the world. Tears of joy filled her eyes as she welcomed this beautiful gift. Joseph quickly came to Mary's side, his heart full of wonder and awe. With gentle hands, he helped her as she cradled the newborn baby. Wrapped in swaddling clothes, Jesus looked up with eyes that sparkled with divine love. Mary and Joseph marveled at his tiny hands and feet, so delicate yet powerful. The baby had arrived in a humble stable, born among the animals, yet he was destined for greatness. Mary held Jesus close, feeling the warmth of his tiny body. She whispered softly to him, telling him of the love that surrounded him. She sang a gentle lullaby, her voice soothing in the peaceful night. Joseph watched, his heart brimming with pride and love. They were a family now, united in their hearts and spirit. As they settled in, the animals around them stirred softly, as if sensing the miracle that had taken place. The sheep lay quietly, and the donkey watched with kind eyes. In that moment, the stable was filled with joy and tranquility, creating a perfect little world for the new family. Outside, the night was serene. The air was crisp, and a gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of the fields. Unbeknownst to Mary and Joseph, their extraordinary event would soon reach the ears of shepherds tending their flocks not far away. In the fields, the shepherds watched over their sheep, listening to the soft sounds of the night. Suddenly, the heavens lit up with a brilliant light, brighter than they had ever seen. It was an angel, shining with a radiant glow, bringing a message of great joy. Fear gripped the shepherds' hearts, but the angel spoke softly, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will bring great joy to all people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. You will find him wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger." The shepherds exchanged amazed looks, their hearts filled with excitement and wonder. They followed the angel's instructions, rushing toward Bethlehem to see the wondrous child. As they made their way, they felt a sense of purpose guiding them, knowing they would witness something extraordinary. Meanwhile, in the stable, Mary and Joseph continued to marvel at their little one. Mary leaned closer, pressing her forehead gently against Jesus. He felt like a miracle, a promise of hope and love. Joseph placed his hand around Mary's shoulder, comfortingly. The closeness of their family felt like a beautiful embrace. As the shepherds arrived at the stable, the sight before them was pure and humble. They found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the manger. The angel's words echoed in their minds, and a wave of joy washed over them. They knelt down, overwhelmed by the sacred presence of the Savior. Mary looked at them with warmth and love, understanding their amazement. Joseph stood nearby, pride radiating from him as he watched the shepherds adore their child. The air was thick with reverence and joy, as if heaven and earth had come together in that little stable. The shepherds, filled with joy, began to tell Mary and Joseph everything the angel had shared with them. They spread the news of Jesus' birth, their hearts bursting with excitement. Mary listened quietly, holding Jesus close, knowing that this was just the beginning of a great story. After a while, the shepherds returned to their sheep, glorifying and praising God for all they had seen and heard. The night felt brighter with their joy, and the stars seemed to twinkle in response. Back in the stable, Mary held Jesus close, whispering lullabies and thoughts of love. Her heart swelled with pride and wonder. Joseph wrapped an arm around her, feeling grateful and blessed. They knew their child was special and that he would change the world. As they settled in for the night, the world outside continued spinning, but in that small stable, there was peace. The animals lay still, and the stars glittered above like a promise. and Joseph, surrounded by the warmth of new love and precious hope, felt everything was perfect. This was the moment they had waited for, the arrival of their son. They were ready for the journey ahead, embracing the love that would come from this miraculous birth. And so, with hearts full of love and joy, they knew that the best was yet to come. The night was calm and clear, with stars shimmering like tiny candles in the sky. Inside the humble stable, the warmth of love surrounded Mary, Joseph, and their newborn son, Jesus. They felt a peace that wrapped around them like a soft blanket. The gentle animals settled down, creating a serene atmosphere perfect for this special moment. As the shepherds returned to their fields, they recounted the marvelous things they had seen and heard. Their hearts were filled with joy and wonder as they spoke of the angel who had shared the good news of the Savior's birth. The night air was still, but inside the shepherds, excitement bubbled like a quiet stream, bringing life to their weary souls. In the distance, the shepherds decided they had to visit the child they had been told about. "Come, let us go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened," they said to each other. Their voices were filled with urgency, and they quickly gathered their things, leaving their flocks behind to seek the miracle. With every step towards Bethlehem, the shepherds felt a delightful anticipation. They spoke quietly among themselves, sharing their hopes and dreams of this newborn king. How could such great joy come to them? They felt unworthy, but eager to witness the miracle. As they approached the stable, the soft light from within illuminated their path, guiding them forward. They could hear the gentle sounds of the animals and the soft breathing of Mary and Joseph. This tiny stable felt like a sacred place. The shepherds entered hesitantly, taking in the scene before them. There lay Jesus, wrapped in swaddling clothes, resting in a manger. Mary looked up and smiled warmly, her eyes reflecting love and joy. Joseph stood protectively beside them, a proud father beaming with wonder. One of the shepherds stepped forward, his voice trembling with awe. "We heard from the angels of the birth of the Messiah," he said softly. "We have come to see him." The others nodded in agreement, their eyes glowing with sincerity. Mary welcomed them with open arms, inviting them closer. She placed Jesus gently in their arms, allowing them to witness the miracle of life. The shepherds were filled with wonder as they held the baby, cherishing the moment as though they held the entire universe in their hands. "He is so small," one shepherd whispered, holding Jesus with great care. With each heartbeat, they recognized the significance of this moment. This child was the Savior, bringing hope and peace to the world. Joseph watched with a warm heart as the shepherds shared their joy and amazement. He felt grateful that they were among the first to share this experience. They were ordinary people, just like him and Mary, but now connected through this extraordinary event. After spending time in the stable, the shepherds shared their own stories and dreams. They spoke of how they watched their flocks under the stars, often dreaming of something greater. Now, that dream was fulfilled before their very eyes. "We will tell everyone about what we've seen," one shepherd declared, his eyes shining with determination. "We will share the good news of the Savior's birth with all who will listen." All their worries and cares seemed to fade away as they spoke of bringing joy to others with this miraculous news. As the shepherds prepared to leave, they knelt once more at Jesus' side. "Thank you for this blessing," they whispered. They were filled with gratitude for the chance to witness such a wonderful thing. Their hearts felt light, as if they were soaring amidst the stars themselves. Mary smiled at each of them, feeling the warmth of their love and excitement. She understood their joy and their desire to share the good news. In that moment, she knew that Jesus had come for everyone, including her and the shepherds, who felt humble and blessed. As the shepherds stepped out of the stable, the cool night air greeted them like an old friend. The sky twinkled above them, each star seeming to shine even brighter in celebration. They embraced the quiet night, triumphantly sharing their passion with one another. They made their way back to the fields, bursting with news. They spoke excitedly about the baby they had seen, now filled with purpose. With their hearts singing, they shared the story of Jesus and the angel's message with everyone they met, spreading joy and wonder throughout the land. All who heard their tale were amazed at what the shepherds had to say. It was a message that resonated deeply, for they spoke not just of a baby, but of hope, love, and the promise of peace. The shepherds knew they would carry this special night in their hearts forever, and they would never forget the miracle they witnessed. Back in the stable, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus hailed in the afterglow of the visit. They felt blessed and watched over. The quiet of the night once more enveloped them, a gentle embrace filled with comfort. Mary cradled Jesus closer, feeling the magic of that night permeating through, a hushed reminder of the great love surrounding them. Joseph stood guard beside them, feeling a sense of purpose in this new life they were building together. Tears of joy glistened in his eyes as he looked at his family. He whispered softly, "A miracle has come to light in our lives." As night gave way to dawn, the first rays of sunlight peeked through, spreading warmth across the stable. While the shepherds had returned to their flocks, that magic moment lingered in the air, a promise of hope, love, and joy that would carry on for generations to come. Thus, Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus settled into their new reality, knowing that they were not just a family, but a beacon for all. With hearts open and spirits bright, they prepared for the wonderful journey ahead, filled with love and the light of the world. In the weeks and months to come, as they faced joys and challenges alike, the visit from the shepherds would remain a cherished memory. These moments of pure love would remind them of why they were chosen, and they knew